If you were fortunate enough to get a Nintendo GameCube when you were a kid, I believe most of us can confirm that Metroid Prime or Metroid Prime Echoes was one of the best games that we ever played. The game was filled with interesting story, enemies, bosses, semi-open world zones, crazy platforms and levels, and the most satisfying thing of all, the puzzles in that game was just phenomenal. I believe the progression system and the feeling of relief after completing a zone, beating a boss, or reaching a save point was the best thing about traversing that game. Now imagine Metroid Prime with Talon 4, Chosen Ruins, Phase and Mines, and Phendrana Drift. Imagine that game melting together with Force Unleashed with a little splash of Dark Souls in it. That is what we have in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. After playing about 11.5 hours on my second Origin account, I can say that this is the best game that I've played in 2019, just right in the same line with Outer Worlds. It is a game you can enjoy even if you've never been into Star Wars, and I'm going to be giving you guys a non-spoiler review. In terms of story, Jedi Fallen Order is something that happened after Order 66, and that is basically where I'm going to leave it. The story and the feel is quite balanced with the use of large cinematics, short cutscenes, camera panning, and all that. Cutscenes and cinematics were not too long to the point where you lose all those pumped up adrenaline while waiting. The text and dialogue did a great job in telling the story, so you're not left wondering what is going on in this game. And when the moment calls for it, there are different sound cues and even words from your main character that serves as a clue to where and what you should be doing. In terms of gameplay, it borrows a lot from puzzle styles of Metroid, the combat systems of games such as Bloodborne, and some RPG elements from Force Unleashed in games such as Mass Effect. This is not a game that focuses too deep on narrative. If you're looking for a really deep story-driven game, you're not going to find that much in this game. It has a lot of story, but the main focus is going to be combat, and it shows a lot. Either you're looking at the massive battles against Tomb Guardians in the earlier stages, or certain enemies which I will not name to avoid spoilers. Regardless of the planet or wherever you go, you can see the character is built to traverse this world and fight it and even embrace it. Unlike the Force Unleashed, where you were literally like a god amongst others, here you have mistakes and a level of progression and enemy design that ensures that you don't feel or look too powerful. You will have to time certain attacks, parry some, and with some attacks you will have to dodge them because you cannot block them. In the later levels of the game, there were some enemy attacks and enemy designs that will just blow your mind once you get to Dathomir. There is a lightsaber customization in this game, and that was also splendid as well, and there is a lot of collectibles to accompany that system. There is a skill tree with leveling system similar to what you have in Path of Exile, but quite smaller. So you can learn force abilities, lightsaber moves, or just unlock certain acrobatic moves. If I will have to nitpick on the combat system, it will be the fact that certain attacks just finds a way to miss your targets at times, and that is basically just me nitpicking. The way the game is built, there are secret upgrades and different items around the world where you might need a specific force ability to access that area, so there is a lot of replayability there. There were times where I had to go back to certain locations because I just unlocked a certain force ability that will allow me to access that location. Now in terms of cons of this game, the game was not a stable 60 FPS, at least on my rig. I did drop to 55 and 50 at times whenever there is some crazy things going on, and even in certain situations where there isn't anything crazy going on, I remember dropping to around 55 as well. But it wasn't happening every single time. The character designs were nice, but the facial expression and level of detail could use some work. Unless you're in a cutscene, your character's face can be emotionless at times, and some of the supporting cast members have the same issue on their faces too, especially Saw Gerrera. Now the rest of the issues that I have with the game is basically dealing with Disney's restrictions on what is and isn't allowed in the game, and a lot of us already know about that before it even launched. But I can expect mods to come out for this game so we can split humanoid enemies into two with a lightsaber. Overall, this is looking like my game of the year, and I will give it a rating of 8.9 over 10. Feel free to share your experience and your thoughts about this game down below in the comment section, and please avoid spoiling it in the comments as well. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next one.